All right, guys, stick with me. And today we're going to talk about Port St. Lucie's luxury market.
You better get fired up.
Happy Turkey Day Eve, man. I'm fired up. I hope you guys are. Hope you got a big Turkey Day planned. I know we do, man. I've been trying to get my walks in so I can get a little bit of room down there. But today I want to focus on Port St. Lucie's luxury market. I don't know that I would say we really have a luxury market in Port St. Lucie. You'll see there aren't a lot of homes that sell over $1 million. I don't even know if $1 million is considered luxury anymore in this market. You'll see a lot of that in West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, different areas throughout the state. But traditionally in Port St. Lucie, we don't see a lot of seven-figure sales. You see them along the river. You'll see them out on Hutchinson Island. You'll see it when you've got a bigger chunk of land that sells. But traditionally speaking, you're not going to see it with probably 97, 98% of the homes. That said, what I'm going to look at is 750 plus to give you guys an idea of what's going on. So let's share screen here. What I'm about to share with you is our MLS, right? And the MLS, why is it not letting me do it? Come on, buddy. Is it not going to let me do it? Why isn't it letting me do it? Oh, boy. All right. It's not letting me do it for some reason. Make sure you click share on modal and not cancel. Okay, let's try this one more time. Present. Share screen. Come on, baby. Give it to me. If I click on this bad boy. Well, I don't know why this isn't working. I will say this, though. If it doesn't work, then I'm still going to go through and I'm going to look this stuff up and I'm just going to share it with you, right? So it's not working to share, but here I'm going to punch in some of these numbers. And this is the local MLS. So this is like where any data you get comes from, whether it's Zillow, Realtor, Trulia, Redfin, eXp Realty, Keller Williams, Remat. It doesn't matter. It's all coming from MLSs like this, right? So this is our local data. I'm looking at active listings right now, and I'm going to look at list price of 750 and higher. Right now, we got 1,455 residential listings for sale. But when you look at 750 and higher, we've got 113 active. Okay. So I'm going to jot that down, 113 active. Now, what I want to do, and let's go into that and just kind of look at, man, I can tell you, I wish you could see this map. So the way the city works, you've got the Turnpike and 95 kind of going down, you know, the left and right side, cutting the city into thirds, right? The west side, which is primarily PGA and tradition. Then you get the center of the city, and then you get the east side closer to one there. All of these listings at 750 and higher, with the exception of visually what looks like 4, right? So that'd be 109 out of 113 are either on the west side of 95 or the east side of the Turnpike. And there's only 1 on the east side of 1, right? So you can start to see the pockets where these higher priced homes are selling. And I say selling loosely because none of these have sold, right? This is asking prices. So they could be overpriced. They could be beautifully priced. We don't know. What I'm going to do is look at the list. And I'm going to put them in order of highest price to lowest price. Let's see what we got on the higher end. Obviously, the lower end is going to be 750. Okay, so we've got one for 3.6 million. It's in an HOA. It's on an acre lot, and it's got 7,500 square feet. That makes sense. We got another one for 2.7 million. That one's 4,100 square feet, and it's on about an acre lot, right? A little bit over. 2.35 million, 2.3 million, 1.7. So when I'm looking at $1 million plus, actually, we got more than I thought we would. We've got 40 out of 113, which is pretty awesome. Let me see how many are in HOAs. This is an HOA heavy area. Ooh, that surprises me. Is that right? It's not right. 100 minus 2 is 98. 98 of 113 are in HOAs. 15 are not. So if you're looking for a luxury home, you're probably going to be in an HOA. Not always, but probably. You're looking at what, 15, 12, 15%, something like that, are not. Okay, so let's go back, and that's what's currently being asked, or what's currently for sale. Let's look at what's closed, and I'm going to go back 60 days. I usually go back 45, but I'm going to go back. I say 60. I'm not actually going to count them. I'm just going to go back. Today's the 22nd of November. Let's look back to the 22nd of September, and we've got, is it going to tell me how many sales? It's not going to tell me. I'll fix that though. Let's come into sold price. Okay, so we got 867 sales, residential sales in Port St. Lucie in the last roughly 60 days. When I look at a sold price of 750 or higher, I want to guess before I see this. I'm going to guess we've got 86. 86 of them. That'd be exactly 10%. Let's see how good my guessing is. 32. Way off. Way off. Now, here's the funny thing. Again, the majority of these 32 are either west of 95 or east of the Turnpike. None of them are east of 1. But we do have 1, 2, 3, 4 that's sold in the center of the city between 95 and the Turnpike, right? So let's take a look at this list of 32 that sold in 60 days. Now, here's the thing. 32 sold in roughly 60 days. That's 16 a month, okay? So if we've got 113 on the market right now divided by 16 a month, we've got a little over 6 months of inventory, okay? Little over, was it 6 or was it 7? I thought it was 7. Let me do that again. I want to be accurate. 7, a little over 7 months of inventory. That is a buyer's market, unquestionably. I say 3 to 4 months is neutral. Some people will even say up to 6 months is neutral. Nobody says 7+ months is neutral. So we definitely have a buyer's market on the 750 plus area. So now that we're looking at these, let's look at what are some of the higher priced, right? We're going to have some. So we've got out of these 32, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 32 that sold for $1 million plus. That's honestly not bad, right? That is what, 20 to 23%, somewhere in that range. So that's honestly pretty strong. How many of these have bigger lots, right? Maybe it was the lot attributing to the sale. I'll tell you the biggest, is that the biggest lot? A lot of these had smaller lots, to be honest. None of them had an acre plus. In fact, the biggest one, I got to do a little bit of realtor math here. An acre is 43,560 on the square footage. The biggest one is 0.88 acres, right? So that is interesting. I'm going to go back to edit search and I'm going to see how many, excuse me, how many of these are on the water. Now, water could be oceanfront, riverfront. It could be beautiful riverfront. It could be like nasty riverfront. It could be a lake. It could be a pond. It could be a million different things. But 17 of the 32, which is more than half, right, are on some sort of water, which is interesting. Let's take a look at the square footage. I'm guessing a lot of these are going to be pretty big homes, probably in that 3,000 to 5,000 square foot range. Okay, so the biggest one, is that true? That's surprising, is 4457 on the square footage. In fact, we've only got 4 out of 32 that sold with more than 4,000 square feet. When I look at the lower end, we've got, I'll go up to 2,503. I was going to say 2,500, but there's actually 1, 2, 3 that sold between 758 and 950 that have up to 2,503 square feet. The smallest one is 2,361. Now, if you're looking at price per square foot, I usually tell people that price per square foot is kind of like a smile, right? I don't know if I'm going to be able to communicate this clearly. I'm going to try. Stick with me. But when you've got a really small house, let's say 1,400 square foot, smaller, maybe even 15 or 16, you tend to get a little bit more price per square foot than your neighbor who's very similar, but has 18, 19, or 2,000 square feet. Why? Because the base value of your lot is going to be the same. If a lot is 80 grand and the neighbor also has an $80,000 lot, the value of that lot is the same. So when you look at the price per square foot of the house alone, it's actually going to carry more value on that lower priced home, right? Or I should say the lower square footage home. So it's going to be a little bit higher, right? And then you see price per square foot kind of come down when you look at average square foot homes. I'm talking like probably 17 to 2,400 square feet. But then you see it start to go back up. Okay, why does it go up if the percentage of the value, the overall value for that lot is getting smaller? That doesn't make sense, right? It's because of amenities, right? People with 750 plus tend to get chrome molding, or they get the updated quartz, or they get the pool, or the sweet lot overlooking the river, or whatever it is, right? So you start to see, generally speaking, not always, those price per square foots prices per square foot going up. So let's look at these. The highest price per square foot, these are not asking prices, these are sold. We got one at 557 a square foot. That is awesome. We got one at 469.47. The rest of them are 379.54 a square foot and smaller, or I should say lower. None of them are under 200 a square foot. In fact, the lowest one is 207 a square foot. That one sold for 809.5, and it was on the market for 22 days. Looks like I had about 2/3 of an acre. I want to come in and see, is it beat up? Pre-qualified. So the main house was built in 89, had an addition put on in 2001 and 2008. So it's kind of a piece together home. Maybe that's why it sold for so little. Let's take a look at some of these photos. I wish you guys could see these, but man, I've got limits, man, and technology today seems to be one of them. Yeah, not professional photos. And I talk about this all the time, right? If you don't get professional photos, you're literally wasting $10, $20, $30,000. And it costs $300, $400, $500 to get a professional photographer. It's a no-brainer. And if you're hiring a realtor and you're paying a commission, my gosh, in my opinion, they should be getting you some photos, right? They should be doing a lot of things. Photos are just one of them. Yeah, this house just for $800-900 grand, it's really nice, but it looks style-wise like a lot of the homes that I sell in the $500,000 to $600,000 range. Very nice, very clean. It's got a pool, it's screened, all that good stuff. But I can see why it went for that. Where was it in an HOA? It was not in an HOA. Where was it on? Okay, it was down off of Becker, kind of mid-city on Becker. So that makes sense. Let's look at one last thing before I let you guys go. I'm going to put these in order of the actual sales price compared to original asking price. A lot of people, and I would think this without looking at it right now, what do we got? 32 sales. I'm going to look at that 16, 17 sale, that median sale, and I'm going to guess that these guys are getting 96% of asking price, 96 or 97. That's going to be my guess. I'm saying that because this is a softer market, right? So these guys are not selling as quickly. There's a lot more inventory, buyers in the driver's seat. However, I don't think it's 92, 93% because I also think a lot of sellers just aren't willing to sell at those prices. They're thinking take it or leave it, right? They're just not desperate right now. So let's come down and actually see how close I am. So we've got how many? 8 out of the 32. So a quarter of them sold for more than asking price. We've got 15 out of 32, which is one short of half, that actually sold for asking price or more. So I'm off. It's actually the 16 sale is at 99%. The 17 sale is at 98%. So really, if you're looking at what I say, 96%, 21 out of the 32 sold for 96%. The bottom, let's look at the bottom 7, sold for 92, 91, 89, 88, 87, 86, 86% of original asking price. So for a lot of you guys thinking, am I going to get a sweet deal out there right now? You can see that a lot of them, the answer is no. With a lot of them, the answer is yes. It really just depends on which one and what you're going to go after. It also depends on how excited about the house you are versus how excited for the deal you are. If you're excited for the deal, we can go find you deals all day long, but you got to not really care about the house as much because you're not going to be able to get that dream house in most cases, right? Unless you get lucky. If you care about the house, we can find you a nice dream house, but the challenge is you may or may not get the sweet deal. In fact, if you really like the house, odds are a lot of other people like the house, and that's when it's tough to get that sweet deal that a lot of people are looking for. So guys, there you go. There is an update on Port St. Lucie's, we'll call it luxury market. If you got any questions or you'd like a little bit more depth on the statistics for your particular home or your particular neighborhood, reach out and we're more than happy to do that at any time. Have an amazing day and an incredible Thanksgiving. Enjoy your families.